Professional fighters are proud and confident people, fueled by ego, and sometimes that confidence spills over. The trash talk gets louder, the energy turns cocky, and respect goes right out of the window. Every now and then, some fighters push it too far and forget that karma has a hell of a jab. Their arrogance gets punished, and the universe reminds them what this sport is really about. So, today, we're looking back at those moments when cocky fighters got humbled, brutally, beautifully, and sometimes instantly. So sit back and relax. Today's going to be full of moments when justice was served. We'll start with a title fight in the bare-knuckle promotion when Cub Hawkins faced off against Ryan Jet. The chaos had already begun at the weigh-ins. Hawkins showed up completely chill, calm, and collected, casually eating a banana. Apparently, Jet was a little too hungry for attention, and out of pure anger, he landed a powerful slap right across his opponent's face. Hawkins dropped part of his snack, but somehow managed to keep his composure, though you could clearly see it took everything he had not to snap right there. He was saving his response for the fight. When the fighters finally met in the ring, Jet had to pay for those uncontrolled hands with pain.
Guys have big power. Boom! That was a big hook there.
Hawkins started breaking his face apart right from the opening bell.
Not seen a facial expression from Jet. Writhed in pain. Before tonight against Cub Hawkins. Tell you what, he's low. He may not have gotten big shots from Hawkins. Dirty boxing.
And quickly wiped that grin off his face. Over the course of 4 rounds, he battered Jet's right eye so badly that the doctor refused to let him continue. Justice was served, vengeance delivered, and karma did what karma does best: punish the man who showed no respect. The next story doesn't feature any slaps, but the disrespect was still there. The Ultimate Fighter finalist Amanda Cooper faced future UFC champion/UFC title contender Mackenzie Dern. Mackenzie showed nothing but class and friendliness, offering a respectful handshake multiple times. But Amanda blatantly ignored her, a cold, deliberate gesture showing no respect, neither to Mackenzie as a fighter nor as a person. She clearly wanted to get inside Dern's head, but she failed. Mackenzie, usually all smiles and sunshine, decided to teach her opponent a lesson that night. Instead of shooting for an early takedown, she kept it standing for a while, just to make a point. Then, bam! A laser-straight right hand cracked Amanda right on the jaw, the very same hand she refused to shake. It was poetic justice in motion. Mackenzie smelled blood, took her back, and forced the tap. Lesson learned. After that night, Amanda Cooper never skipped a handshake again. This next case wasn't about hatred, it was pure arrogance. The seasoned Brazilian Leandro Silva stepped into a boxing match against Slovak fighter Marek Mazuch. Always flashy and full of personality, Silva showed up in his signature outfit and dominated the entire first round. He was faster, more technical, and even started clowning around, treating the whole thing like a show. But karma doesn't like showboats. In the second round, before Silva could even start his usual hip-shaking routine, Mazuch began firing back.
Big left hand.
A clean left hook landed flush and stunned Silva. After that, they were followed by a brutal flurry that put the Brazilian out cold. The fight was over, and the message was clear. In the cage, swagger means nothing unless you can back it up. We're moving on to an even more disrespectful case, one where a fighter really crossed the line. And at the elite level, that kind of behavior comes with consequences. Adrian Broner was always known for his big mouth.
I'm good. I beat Polly. I left with his belt and his girl.
And when it came time for his first title defense against Marcos Maidana, he brought that same energy.
After I fuck him up December 14th.
Easy work. He ain't gonna say no mas. No, he gonna say that I'm done. That my good.
But Broner didn't stop at trash talk. He took it further inside the ring, humiliating his opponent at the end of the first round. Maidana couldn't respond right away, but from that moment on, revenge became a matter of honor. In the very next round, Maidana dropped Broner with a heavy shot, and from there, it was a masterclass in payback. For the rest of the fight, he punished Broner round after round, breaking him down both physically and mentally. Maidana fought like a man possessed, ready to kill or be killed. And while he occasionally resorted to dirty tactics himself, most of his revenge came through pure boxing. By the end, Maidana couldn't resist giving Broner a taste of his own medicine. And when the final bell rang, justice was served. Karma caught up, and Maidana got his revenge in the most brutal and satisfying way possible. We're staying in boxing, and this next story is a reminder that you should always remain a gentleman. Braulio Rodriguez tried to intimidate a young Ryan Garcia already at the weigh-ins. The Dominican fighter was 10 years older, but showed a complete lack of class. Nothing too crazy, just the usual boxing theatrics. But during the shove, Garcia stumbled back into the ring girl standing behind him. The poor girl got scared, but wasn't hurt, and Rodriguez didn't even bother to apologize. The universe took note, and so did Ryan. The first payback came fast, but Braulio didn't learn. He kept clowning around.
Wenn Canelo Alves sein Debüt in New York City gibt, geht in die Tiefe. Siehst du die starken Schläge? Nun, 30 zu Dritte. Manchmal können die
mocking Garcia even after getting hit.
Zeigen auch, wirklich. Ich meine, das Publikum mag es nicht. Die Fans mögen es nicht. Ihn dir an. Ich meine, zu kommen. Und das gelingt ihm. Ein rechter Haken von Garcia. Rodriguez sagt, sei nicht verletzt, aber bekommt ein...
But Ryan didn't care. The young prodigy turned into the executioner of fate that night and executed the disrespectful veteran. Moral of the story, don't mess with ring girls, especially not in front of Ryan Garcia. Ryan's older comrade is far more used to this game, so when opponents try to get inside his head, he's always ready. You all remember this viral moment.
Mark my words, November 6th, you will hear the words, and the new undisputed super middleweight. The only difference is right after that, you'll hear the words, and still undefeated. That's funny? You think that's funny?
A little bit.
Yeah? Well, keep laughing.
He talked about Canelo Alvarez's mother.
You keep laughing, motherfucker, because you know when you're going to find out? Real soon. And you know when you're going to find out? The same time everybody else found out. And you know when that was? You know when they found out? When it was too late. You bitch. And you a bitch too. You know the only difference between you and him is he's a fat ass bitch and you a bitch. What the fuck you gonna do? Fuck you. And you a drug.
And went for a slap at Canelo Alvarez. But Canelo was ready for the chaos, and his lightning-fast reaction became an instant meme. Still, Alvarez didn't appreciate the disrespect and made sure to settle the score the right way, inside the ring.
You're not on my level, and you will see November 6th. You're not gonna find out. I promise you.
Canelo didn't rush for an early knockout or try to end it brutally. Instead, he stayed patient, broke Plant down round by round, and turned the fight into a one-sided masterclass. Then came the end. A nasty left hook followed by a savage uppercut. Plant hit the canvas, tried to get up, but Canelo smelled blood.
Canelo looking for the finish. Big left hook in for the finish. Canelo looking to finish off Caleb Plant, and down goes Plant, and this one is over.
Another barrage, second knockdown, fight over. To Plant's credit, by the end, the hatred had turned into mutual respect. A perfect example of how real men settle things, not with words, but with action. Let's take a break from boxing and stare-down drama and talk about disrespect inside the fighting arena. The kind that's not just unsportsmanlike, but actually dangerous, which makes it even worse. Because if anyone should understand and respect a fellow athlete, it's another fighter. But let's start from the beginning. Tenshin Nasukawa, a generational Japanese prodigy who started fighting professionally at just 15 years old. He's competed in rings, cages, and everything in between. But his true gift shines in his ability to destroy opponents' bodies with precision kicks and punches. One of those fights took place almost 9 years ago. His opponent that night was Wanchalong, a Muay Thai veteran with over 200 professional bouts. And right from the start, Wanchalong did something incredibly disrespectful. He threw a dangerous low kick just as Tenshin extended his hand for a respectful touch. The young Japanese fighter didn't appreciate that one bit and decided to serve justice immediately. Nasukawa took full control, unleashing a furious storm of punches and kicks like a wild dog off the leash. Wanchalong tried to respond. And even landed a decent shot, but that only fired Tenshin up even more. He decided to end things once and for all. A stunning spinning kick, lights out. The strike landed flush on the jaw, and Wanchalong went out cold instantly. A brutal defeat for the veteran, but a well-deserved lesson in respect, especially when you're facing a master like Tenshin Nasukawa. Let's talk about a story that proved one simple rule: never judge a book by its cover or a man by his height. Bokong Little Giant Masunyani, a guy for whom even skyscrapers aren't that impressive. Growing up, Bokong constantly heard jokes about his size, so he decided to let his wrestling do the talking and make sure anyone who laughed at him ended up flat on the mat. With only 3 pro MMA fights behind him, Masunyani stepped into the cage against Magno Alves at Extreme Fighting Championship. During the face-off, Bokong stayed respectful, even turning his cap around as a gesture of humility. His opponent, not so much. Alves tried to intimidate him with his fists and showed zero respect. And also, doesn't this remind you of a classic? Once the cage door shut, the quiet kid vanished, and a beast took over. Before the fight, Masunyani looked like a schoolboy. Inside the cage, it was Alves who got schooled. Bokong dominated everywhere, sharper in striking, smoother in transitions, relentless on the ground. He outclassed Alves in every department and walked away with a unanimous decision victory, proving one thing: respect isn't earned by size, it's earned by skill. The most controversial case of the day: Ben Whitaker, the new genius of boxing. Slick, technical, lightning fast, and always ready to put on a show for the crowd. His behavior might look disrespectful, but Whitaker isn't trying to humiliate his opponents. He just wants the crowd's love and standing ovations. But sometimes that charisma pisses people off. In his fight for the IBF International Light Heavyweight title last year, Whitaker faced Ezra Aranyeka, a dangerous, undefeated Nigerian with a 12-0 record. Ezra started by mocking Ben's antics.
Minor miscalculation, that's probably the answer here.
But he couldn't match his striking skills.
He's playing him at his own game. Here we go.
Whitaker outboxed him easily.
Just making a slope at the top. Round 6 if he can just keep...
Even the taunting, Whitaker did it better.
That's a good jab from Whitaker, up from the waist. That's a good left hand to the body from Whitaker. And then again, just manages to slide down. Whitaker with a neat combination and a nice left hand, a couple of left hands, and some very smooth upper body.
The Nigerian grew frustrated, while Whitaker, between rounds, offered a peace gesture, only to get headbutted in return.
So he goes to walk him, back-fashioned parlance.
And in the next round, an elbow straight to the face.
He's correct there, the referee, to make that deduction.
Whitaker didn't lose his cool. He responded like a true professional by completely outclassing Ezra.
Decent work from him, a bit more here, but just walked onto an uppercut there from Whitaker. And he's stood by that, he's in trouble here, and maybe Whitaker can finish it. He's got 15 seconds remaining, and one at least, and he's just about going to make it through to...
The most straightforward case of karma in combat sports. This tattoo-covered bodybuilder decided to show maximum disrespect to his opponent. Hands in pockets, smug grin, full arrogance. He even tried to act tough and grabbed the professional fighter by the neck. Once the cage closed, both kept that same energy. Surprisingly, the bodybuilder even managed to defend a takedown early on. But that resistance didn't last long. The fighter showed why he's a professional, landing a brutal spinning elbow that sent the wannabe tough guy crashing down. The follow-up ground and pound was just a formality. In the next case, let me introduce you to a simplified version of Johnny Walker, the flashy Indian fighter Jason Ramesh Solomon, known for his electric walkouts, in-cage dancing, and one of the wildest personalities outside the UFC. This guy built quite a name for himself. You'll definitely remember him. Just look at this madness.
Oh, dear God.
But when you've got that much energy, you'd better learn to control it, or it'll control you. And that's exactly what happened to Solomon. His arrogance played a cruel joke on him. He walked out to his own track, danced and waved to the crowd, even flirted with the Octagon girls. He didn't enter the cage. He launched himself into it. Once face-to-face with his opponent, he tried to break him mentally. It looked like Jason was about to take his opponent's head off with the first punch and go party after. But reality hit harder. Solomon got knocked out in just 9 seconds. His walkout ended up being more impressive than the fight itself. This green-haired veteran came to throw down for real, but his opponent didn't seem too eager to brawl, or so he thought. Back in the days when masks were still a thing and pandemic wasn't just a memory, a bare-knuckle FC card featured Brandon Lambert versus Gerard Grant. Brandon was 15 years older, taller, longer, more experienced, and had that unmistakable wild-eyed stare.
Get blazing fast 5G.
Grant started cautiously, feeling out the distance and rhythm, but Lambert didn't like that one bit.
Hands down, look at him. Clowning right now, Lambert pointing to the center.
He started yelling, waving his arms, demanding a brawl.
Jab the bell, the end of round number 1.
But Grant stayed composed, refused to take the bait, and stuck to the game plan. His first clean shots landed late in the opening round, and after that, it was all downhill for Lambert.
Counter right hand, just... Lambert now taking the backward step. Big right hand and the left hand from...
Again,
what Kid got it. He's doing a good job.
Grant kept tagging his cocky opponent until the third round,
Way before.
Huge right hand.
when he finally decided to end the show.
Lambert staying long, doubling up on the jab. To it. Grant walking.
He's making him pay for it right now. All those antics that were being done.
He folded Lambert face first into the canvas for a knockout win, proving once again that silence really is golden.
I'm surprised that he's not letting that get to him. But no, that uppercut to the body. Grant hit him with a real good one. Sometimes it's a delayed reaction.
Tony Bellew is actually a good guy, but in this case, he definitely went a bit too far. The build-up to his fight with Alexander Usyk was surprisingly respectful, and even after that line from the Scouser,
I have the one thing that he doesn't have, and that's a punch that can switch lights off within the blink of an eye. Just one wrong step, one wrong maneuver, and it's over. I'm going to break his heart. I'm going to get him. I'm going to get the monster. With something inside him, I can't even put it into words what goes through my head. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know when I'm going to do it. I just know I'm going to punch him in the face really, really, really hard on Saturday night.
Usyk didn't get mad. He just smiled and showed pure class.
He's kidding.
Both fighters openly admired each other and made it clear this was nothing but a sporting challenge. Bellew made a bold statement about his knockout power, and his 20 previous opponents could confirm it. But that night in the ring, he wasn't facing just another guy. Across from him stood an Olympic champion and the undisputed cruiserweight king, Alexander Usyk. Usyk controlled most of the fight, while Bellew had his moments here and there. The Ukrainian landed the first real shots, but the Englishman fought back bravely. For a while, it looked like an even contest, but in round 8, Usyk finally hit another gear, and moments later, delivered the final shot. This wasn't a bad blood rivalry. It was more like a friendly bet to see who could knock out who, and in that bet, the winner was clear: Alexander Usyk. The fight with Usyk turned out to be Tony Bellew's last one as a pro. Not the happiest ending, but before facing the Ukrainian, Bellew had a legendary two-fight saga with another boxing icon, David Haye. Haye was a dominant champion who once even dethroned a real giant, Nikolai Valuev. That kind of achievement is rare, so a bit of arrogance was understandable. Their stare-downs with Bellew got really heated.
I'm the best. I don't care what they all say. That bitch from Bermondsey, I'll fight him.
Tony Bellew, you're a bell end.
Both men promised to kill each other in the ring and were ready to risk everything just to take the other's head off. In reality, it was classic pre-fight hype between two explosive knockout artists. Once inside the ring, though, there was still a certain level of respect between them. Haye took the early rounds, but everything changed when he tore his Achilles, and from that moment on, Tony completely took over.
And he can stand up. This is really sad to see it. Belly right hand, left hook. David Haye trying to clean up.
Is it the Achilles that was troubling him? Tony Bellew alive. Amazing at the 6th round. And here comes Bellew.
Really is unprecedented and very. Tony Bellew here putting shots on David Haye.
While Haye could only absorb punishment. Then came round 10, and frustration got the best of Haye. When Bellew extended his glove for a show of sportsmanship, Haye took a cheap swing at him instead, a low move that pissed Tony off. He decided there was no more room for mercy, and the knockout came soon after. Haye was punished for his disrespect, carried out on a stretcher, while Tony Bellew stood tall, celebrating one of the biggest wins of his career. Manel Kape has always been a loudmouth who never backed down, even from guys bigger than him.
You have the courage to come here, stage. Yes, stand up, motherfucker. Stand the fuck up. Stand the fuck up, motherfucker. What you want? What you want? What you want to? Yeah. Shut the fuck mouth. Sit down. Yo, things is with Strickler. Sit the fuck down. Sit the fuck down. Sit the fuck down, yo.
Little crack ass.
Sit down, bro.
Tight ass car was giving you a brain.
Sit the fuck down. Sit the fuck down. What the fuck? Bitch, what? Sit the fuck down, yo.
Look at this little midget trying to fuck with me. I will fucking bury you.
What the fuck you are? What the fuck you are? Shut your mouth. Your fucking porn cartoon addiction.
But when you confuse courage with arrogance, be ready for the consequences. During the stare-down with the polite Japanese fighter Ulka Sasaki, the future UFC contender refused a handshake, shoved his opponent, and threw some trash talk his way. Sasaki kept his cool and didn't cause a scene. He chose to respond in the cage instead. Cape wasn't eager to receive a lesson in humility, so he fought back at first. Even getting cocky with his hands down and throwing flashy, unnecessary kicks. Sasaki didn't rush. He calmly countered. Biding his time and reading every move, but the Japanese fighter hadn't forgotten the disrespect. Once he brought the fight to the ground, he started his revenge. Cap found himself trapped, and all that swagger quickly disappeared. Sasaki showcased pure dominance on the mat.
Nice, stay on top. Yes, Sasaki, again. Sasaki, again. Elbow. Yes, Sasaki, elbow. Nice. The ref's gonna stop it, Sasaki. The guy can't defend himself. Sasaki, keep going. Yes.
And even came close to finishing the fight. His opponent had plenty of time to regret his behavior, but the lesson had to be completed. Sasaki humbled the arrogant loudmouth and proved that respect is earned, not demanded. In bare-knuckle boxing, bloody shows aren't just for men. The ladies can put on a spectacle just as well. One of them is Taylor Starling, who always brings flashy theatrics before her fights. Many even compare her to Conor McGregor.
I always bring the show.
Starling, the champion.
I'm entertaining. I'm fun to watch. Every time I fight, nobody wants to miss it. I'm just fun. I'm in there, I'm gritty, I'm nasty, I'm scrappy, and I always bring the show. Facing an experienced 40-year-old veteran, Christine Faria, Starling stayed true to herself and showed a lot of disrespect. The title challenger was fired up. The fight started fast. Starling rushed forward, but things quickly turned around. She began taking heavy shots, went down, and soon lost any desire to continue. The champion proved to be tougher, landing several brutal punches and completely breaking the challenger, who essentially gave up and didn't want to keep taking punishment. Starling was way too cocky before the fight, and within just 1 minute of the bout, she was brutally humble. One of the clearest examples of how not to fight when you've acted like that before the match. This guy didn't put on a show before the fight. Instead, he chose to disrespect his opponent inside the cage. Theodoros Ginting, a rising MMA prospect and One Pride champion from Indonesia, came in riding a streak of brutal finishes. He could knock people out on the feet and dominate on the ground, but apparently that wasn't enough. He also wanted to prove his mental dominance. Throughout the fight, Ginting was clowning around, making faces, and wasting time with pointless showboating. Maybe it would have worked against some random amateur, but across the cage stood Windry Patalima, also undefeated and just as dangerous. Patalima didn't take the bait. He stayed calm, methodically broke down the champion.
and in the final moments of round 3, locked in a rear naked choke. The challenger became the new champion. The champion stayed on the canvas. Maybe if Ginting had spent less energy clowning, things could have ended very differently. This guy might just be the dirtiest fighter in all of MMA. Mkyovich has a long history of pulling cheap tricks, but this time he outdid even himself. During his fight with young Hazrat Sharipov, Mkyovich launched a full-force shot straight to the groin, leaving Sharipov writhing in pain and unable to continue. Commentators fell silent and medical staff rushed in. The poor fighter couldn't even get up, let alone leave the cage on his own. Word spread quickly that the impact may have triggered a heart attack. It wasn't just a foul, it was something far more dangerous. And what does Mkyovich do in response? Does he apologize? Show remorse? Not a chance. Instead, he shrugs it off and flashes a twisted grin like it was part of the plan all along. So he does that. I don't even know what he's doing. That didn't sit well with Sharipov's friend, Gerard Podorevsky. The moment the bell rang, Gerard charged forward and immediately took control. The beating was relentless, and it looked like the finish was near, but the special rules saved Mkyovich from being choked out. Still, karma wasn't done. After a brief reset, Gerard came back and finished the job, unleashing all his rage for his fallen friend. The nutshot artist got brutally humbled, and for a while stopped ruining other men. We're hitting the final stretch, and this one's the most harmless case of all. At the Kazakh promotion Alash Pride, Brazilian fighter Pedro Lopez tried to stir things up during the face-off against Uzbek brawler Bobur Abdulazizov. Bobur wasn't having any of it. He instantly slapped Lopez across the face, and a full-on brawl broke out. The two almost shook hands afterward, but the tension didn't go anywhere. Once the cage door closed, Abdulazizov activated Annihilation Mode. It took him only 3 punches to end the fight. The crowd didn't even have time to hate the cocky Brazilian. It was all over before they blinked. And once again, one of the dirtiest moves in combat sports. Alex Hanan tried everything to get under the skin of his opponent, the New Zealand fighter with Russian roots, Andrei Mykhovich. But during the face-off, he crossed the line. A cheap, unexpected shot to the body. Alex Hanan was in full rat mode, flashing gun signs like he was in a music video and trying to play the big man. Hanan played it off like a friendly tap, but everyone knew he was trying to drain his opponent's gas tank before the fight even started. Mkyovich managed to keep his cool and decided to answer the clown the professional way. From the opening bell, Mkyovich dominated.
Big 1-2 from Mkyovich to get started.
He outboxed, outclassed, and flat-out toyed with Hanan.
And Hanan just stayed up. He covers up. Chasing is Mkyovich and looking at both. Slow shot there from Mkyovich, and he goes.
Realizing he was levels above, Andre shifted gears, first rocking him hard.
Massive left hook from Andre Mkyovich.
Then again.
Body shots Mkyovich. Misses with his right hand and works, and there's the hook again, and he goes again.
And finally forcing the ref to step in and save Hanan from further punishment. Maybe now Alex will think twice before trying to sucker punch someone to the body ever again.
And works, and there's the hook again, and he goes again. The second knockdown.
Time to dive straight into the blazing fire of martial arts. Up next, the Grand Prix final at Glory. This kickboxing match might not be the most technical or high-level bout of the year, but it's definitely the most electrified one. And how could it not be when two monsters like these collide? Rajab Zada, a dangerous knockout artist with 9 finishes in Glory and a former world kickboxing champion, known for his aggression and insane knockout power. But his opponent wasn't some random guy. It was Mori Kroma, better known as the Black Ghost, a massive beast who can survive any kind of war. From the opening bell, both fighters slammed the gas pedal to the floor, followed by a clean right hook. After a few more exchanges, Mori reloaded. Here's what happens when Eric Cartman grows up and starts doing MMA. He decided to show blatant disrespect, not just to his opponent, but to an entire martial art, and by doing so, disrespected the whole country. This guy, named Jonathan Ivey, thought it would be smart to mock Japan to get inside his opponent's head. Add to that some ridiculous showboating at the stare down, and a walkout dressed like a horror movie maniac, covered in tattoos, making creepy faces. This guy brought every kind of psychological weapon to the table. Hikaru Sato, on the other hand, was calm and composed. He even walked out wearing a kimono, as if to show that his opponent's antics didn't bother him. Quite the opposite. He was proud of his identity. But Ivy's clown show didn't stop before the fight.
Okay? And that's okay? No headbutting, no groin attack, no back attack.
This is going to be 3 5-minute rounds.
All right, Sato.
He kept goofing around and even tried to attack, but Sato chose the smartest tactic. He started wearing the American down in the clinch.
Clinch, but really hard to clinch.
That was a wise move, because Ivy gassed out, and moments later, boom! Sato landed a brutal straight right to the temple. The crowd was stunned, and the cocky American got humbled real quick, never again daring to mock another culture. And finally, the last one on our list, but far from the least, is a perfect example of instant karma in combat sports. Badr Hari has always been known for his controversial nature and wild behavior. In his fight against veteran Peter Graham, the young talent decided to show the ultimate level of disrespect toward a man he clearly didn't see as his equal.
I see your tape, I see you fighting. You look like an amateur. How old are you?
I'm 30, man.
Okay, drop dead, motherfucker.
He ignored Graham at the press conference, refused to shake his hand, and even tried to kiss him against his will. It was obvious Hari wanted to break his opponent mentally before they even stepped into the ring. Once the fight started, the young fighter landed the first meaningful strike, straight to Graham's groin. The veteran responded with a heavy shot that rocked Hari. Peter began unleashing bombs on Badr, but the Moroccans somehow survived. Hari fought back with bad intentions and even threw a spinning kick right before the bell. The next round and a half followed the same pattern.
Another right hand. Graham wants to juke it out against the ribs. All tied up like a pretzel, referee said.
Until Graham decided it was time for a masterpiece. Out of nowhere, he channeled his inner Showtime and delivered one of the most iconic knockouts in kickboxing history. The trash talk was over. The young star was brutally humble. For that lesson alone, Peter Graham truly deserves the Teacher of the Year award. In the fight game, arrogance always has an expiration date. You can clown, you can talk, you can disrespect, but once that cage door closes, karma clocks in. Every cocky fighter learns the same brutal truth. It doesn't matter how loud you bark when someone's about to make you humble. This was a reminder. In combat sports, respect isn't given, it's earned.